Will homes cost more or less if I wait to buy? Can I get a better deal later? The underlying fear in the market is the market going to go down? What is going to happen in a recession? Do I buy now or later? The true costs of waiting to buy or the hidden costs of renting. Why I'm buying a home today or why I'm waiting to buy a home. Diana, thanks for joining the call today. I'm really looking forward to our call because I think you and your teams at MBS Highway are on the forefront of helping LOs answer these questions every single day. And with that list of questions, I wondered if you can comment on your end. And I know you guys repeat this, and Barry repeats it all the time, but what are you guys seeing and telling loan officers to help them address these questions?
Yeah, so thanks for having me on again. I love doing these videos. We try to provide so much value here at MBS Highway and now along with MonitorBase. Now, I think before we get into why it's not a good idea to wait to purchase a home, I think it's important to understand what's happening now in the market and what's expected to happen going forward. So I have two slides here. And when you take a look at the first one, you can see that historically through recession, home prices have actually either stayed at the same level or have increased in price. And that's a good thing to see because going forward, we're expecting recession in the next maybe 6 to 12 months or so, even a little bit sooner. And a lot of people are nervous as to what's going to happen with home prices. But we have to look at it historically and see that for every single recessionary period, this white line showing the Case-Shiller Home Price Index, like I said, has either stayed stable or increased through these recessionary periods in these dark blue bars. It's just this '08 recession that a lot of people get confused and it makes them really nervous, and you kind of can't blame them because take a look at what happened. Home prices dropped pretty drastically. But if you take a closer look at the graph, home prices started dropping before recession even hit. So it was the housing bubble that led us into recession and not the other way around. But you can see that even through the last recession, we saw home prices skyrocket. And are they at very elevated levels now, nearly 20% year over year? They are. And that's what many people think, is that home prices are going to slow or depreciate. But that's very, very different from just a slowing of appreciation. So if you're at 20% now, but you slow it down to 10%, that's still extremely meaningful appreciation. Even high single digits from 5 to 9%, still such strong appreciation levels. So if you want to delay your purchase, or if your customer wants to delay their purchase because they want to wait for home prices to cool off a little bit, well, it doesn't make much sense because you could have started gaining equity through appreciation and amortization today if you went through with that purchase. Something else to consider is interest rates. We know they're pretty elevated now, but we have to understand how they react to recession. And during recession, inflation comes lower. And that's what interest rates do. They follow and they move lower as well. So if we take a look at another chart here, you can see again through every single recessionary period that we've seen, home prices have dropped, mortgage rates have dropped pretty drastically from 16 to almost 12% here back in the 80s, 18 to 13%, and so on. And we're expecting the same thing to happen because once again, during recession, when inflation moves lower, interest rates do follow suit because inflation is the main driver of interest rates. So even if you get, let's just say, a 6% or a 5.5% rate today, and you buy that home, there's going to be a great opportunity to do a refinance in the next maybe 6 to 12 months when rates do move lower. That doesn't mean that you should wait for that lower rate. Take advantage of it now and start gaining those savings today. And on MBS Highway, we have a beautiful tool to help show that point to your customers.
I love it. And that's really what I was excited about today, is I know you guys have some amazing tools but specifically the cost of waiting analysis, I think, is built perfectly to address this question. And it's a complex question. Should I buy a home? Yes, you should, isn't really the answer they're looking for. They're looking for reassurance in the form of your confidence, but also in the form of data so that they feel like they're making a decision from an educated perspective. It's a big decision. And for a loan officer who does loans every single day, it's like, okay, this is very ordinary for you, but it's exceptionally, big for me. And being able to navigate that particular situation, that's where I felt like this cost of waiting analysis was really just incredible. So I was hoping you could show us a little bit about that today and how loan officers can use that to address these questions for their borrowers.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at a sample here. I'll share my screen again. And in this case, we're looking at a $400,000 home right here where I am in Monmouth County, New Jersey. And of course, with MBS Highway, you can pull in a report for any zip code or county in the country, and we'll generate these numbers based on that data. But let's just say our customer is looking at this $400,000 home today. Well, remember what I said, we're already seeing strong appreciation. We do not see that slowing down too drastically in the next 6 months or so. But even if it does, we'll still see meaningful appreciation. In this case, we're expecting it to increase by about $17,000 in the next 6 months. If you want to keep the same LTV, that loan amount and that down payment begins to increase. And on top of it, we're looking at our 6% rate today, but let's just say that rates move up by 0.25% in the next 6 months. Of course, that can deter a lot of buyers. So when we consider that, and you come down here and we just take a look at this 6-month column, because of that higher interest rate and that higher loan amount, if you wait to buy for 6 months, your monthly payment goes up by $156. Annually, that adds up to a loss of almost $1,900 in the next year. But then you're going to see the most amount of loss here comes from appreciation. So if you bought this home today, you would have gained about $17,000 in equity through appreciation and another $2,200 in equity through amortization. So you lose the chance to gain almost $20,000 in just the next 6 months on top of your monthly payment going higher. So again, take advantage of it now and don't lose these savings and these profits that you could gain if you were to purchase this home today. This is a version that I'm sharing as an interactive link on MBS Highway that your customer can access just like this with your branding at the top. But you also have the option to share this with your branding and your company's branding, or you can co-brand with your referral partner, which makes this especially powerful.
Awesome. I really appreciate that. And that really is like, I'm in the market every single day and I get nervous. I look at things and there's so much uncertainty, everything on the news. So it's always amazing to have the reassurance and the reminder and the data in front of you. So one of the things I think maybe you can comment on as well, you've got loan officers who are really dealing in the field with these questions, but for their managers, executives, regional division managers, people that are dealing with these teams specifically, what are you seeing them do, or what are you seeing working to help them be able to convey some of this information and some of this confidence, down the line, helping those loan officers, again, with their confidence levels? What are you seeing work?
So I think the number one thing a lot of leaders in the industry do for their loan officers is send them to MBS Highway to get their analysis, and send them to somebody like MonitorBase to get their alerts and to know what to do and to prompt them to get this work done. But you can't just send your loan officer somewhere and expect them to learn on their own. I think if these leaders train themselves on these tools and actually show them to their loan officers, I think you become much more profitable. And in a time right now where many companies are, reducing their workforce and maybe letting people go, be the outlier and start hiring more, start training more and recruiting. That way you increase your production tenfold, because these are the tools between MonitorBase and MBS Highway. You can increase production drastically. So what I suggest is get your individual loan officers on MBS Highway, get them with MonitorBase, and have them start using the tools right away. Take advantage of the training that each of our companies offer. And that's what it's here for. I think if you can train your loan officers to have a certain mindset where right now doesn't suck because rates are so high, right now is actually a great opportunity, because yes, we're closing loans at higher rates right now, but remember that opportunity you have in the next 6 to 12 months here. It's what's down the road that's what's more important, I think. So if you could take advantage with, let's just say, a lower upfront cost loan right now, and then use that for a refinance coming soon, you're going to set up 2 loans, not just one. And I think that's the best thing to do, is set up your next loan down the road, not just the one you're looking at today. So 2 steps further or 3 steps further is always a good thing to think about, whether you're training as a leader or whether you're learning yourself.
I love it. Thank you so much, Diana. I really appreciate you jumping on these videos with me. It's always so educational and valuable. And we see that in just the response that we get anytime we pull you on. So again, I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
If you're looking down the road to find ways that you can equip your teams with the tools they need to succeed today and in the future, consider database monitoring and MBS Highway. Using MonitorBase alerts to find home buyers, home sellers, and first-time buyers is a great way to start capturing opportunities in your broader audiences, whether that's phone contacts, email contacts, CRM databases, or leads that you've purchased. Finding the right people who know you and trust you, and identifying which of them are in the market for your services is crucial. And pairing that with the amazing tools that MBS Highway has to offer like the cost of waiting analysis, are incredible strategies that can win today and set you up for success later. These strategies and systems, when used, provide amazing value to the loan officers who are trying to win in today's market. Schedule a call to speak with one of our MonitorBase account success representatives to learn more about finding first-time buyers, finding home sellers, and home buyers today.